Hey, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Case openings? Wait.
A ton of money from
is that
hold on, it's my closing
they
thought.
actually everyone's saying they ran out of 3 because they feel it's profitable.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Catalyst Effect podcast. This is episode 43. As always, I'm your boy Klaus, and with me is Crypto Hado and Missy. What is up, boys?
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling, bro, chilling. Yo, Missy, you there?
Bro, I'm fucking vibing, man. We got Raven Quest in this bitch.
Yeah,
we're
man.
cooking redacted, and we're cooking redacted, and we're cooking that shit that I can't talk about. We're cooking so much shit, bro. This kitchen is on fire.
Bro, it's a lot. There's a lot that's coming.
Better have a fire extinguisher if it's on fire, my friend.
No. This fire.
Nah. This is Plan B, baby. We need the heat.
That?
We need the
wasn't
heat.
That what? Who was it that said that? Wasn't it R. Kelly? No, it was Usher, right? You gotta let it burn. Gotta let it burn.
Speaking about Usher.
Yo. Wait. Let's not get into that yet, bro. That's too much to begin with. You know, we gotta ease into it. But no, man, we do have a lot of things that we're currently cooking, and unfortunately, a lot of it we can't speak of yet. But be on the lookout, guys. It's gonna be a hot end of the year for us and for the space. So I'm excited, dude. I'm super hyped. But just like you said, bro, Raven Quest is pretty much what's been happening this week. It opened up on the 20th again to the public, and I'm super hyped because I've been grinding the game. I actually ended up resetting all my archetype and creating like a whole new class. Because I wanted to try something different than what I was running with the Death Warden. So I just ended up resetting my archetype, and I've actually been enjoying this new class setup that I'm running. But what about you, bro? I know you're a big fan of the game.
Is that?
Oh, I'm running the I think I'm gonna butcher the name of this shit because I don't have it opened. Arcanist, I think is what it is.
Okay.
Or
yeah, I know that build.
Yeah, so it's basically Wizard, Witchcraft, and what's the last one? It's not man, it's the one with all the spells and stuff, the one that with all the elements. Spiritual. There you go. Yeah.
Fire. Yeah, I'm still running Runesmith, which is Witchcraft, Spiritual, and Protection. So yeah, I'm fucking with it. I'm enjoying playing that a lot. I just hit level 22. Game is finally feels like it's really starting to open up, which is exciting. Yeah, man. I've enjoyed every second of playing that game. You know, obviously there's certain things that irritate you naturally throughout the game and process, but the whole experience as a whole has been very positive.
Yeah. So real quick, you say you're level 22, right?
Yep.
So, and you said that the game just feels like it's starting to open up, right? Like, what's the big difference? Like, what's the biggest shift between, let's say I'm level 16, right? Like between level 16 and then hitting level 20 and up, right?
You have your mount. The quest starts to get more kill oriented, so it starts to feel a little grindy. You start looking at things like opening your guild, right? You start now all of a sudden your silver actually feels like you're gonna be saving it for something, because for example, we want to open a catalyst guild inside of Raven Quest, right? So that was something where I kept seeing people walking around with the tags over their head, the 3-letter tag, almost like a call sign from Call of Duty. And I was just like, damn, how do we make our own fucking guild? Because I'm tired of seeing all this shit. And then I realized that shit costs 100,000 silver. I'm only at 20,000, so I was like, fuck, I gotta figure out how to get more gold.
Gotta do a lot more
silver, and and just in general, you just start realizing how much more your archetypes start opening up, and the different combinations and abilities that you can do. And you start looking more at crafting you start kind of getting into the whole loop of the game itself. It stops becoming less about completing quests, and it's more like, how do I level up my crafting? How do I collect more herbs? How do I get mines? How do I make money? What archetype? How deep do I want to get into each specific tree for the archetypes? Like, just because you're a certain archetype, like for example, like I was talking about runesmith, right? Like that's 3 trees: that's spiritual, witchcraft, and protection. But like, do I want to be more protection based or do I want to be more witchcraft based, right? Like, you even start thinking that way. You start experiencing the other trees and a deeper level that makes you start to be like more selective of around how you want to level. So that's what I mean. Like, the game really starts to open up more because it starts to feel more custom than cookie cutter.
No, yeah, I agree with that a lot, man. Like that's actually I'm excited for like the game opening up more for me as well, because I'm currently like level 16. I think just even like smaller things, right? Like, for example, like I think it's at like level 15 that you unlock the not unlock, but you get the thing that lets you unlock the adventurers board, right? Like, where it's like different types of quests that you can do and stuff like that, right? Like, other than the main quest from the main game loop, essentially. And also, like, today I found out, like, I was playing around with my with my skills, right? Like my skill tree with the archetypes and stuff, and I found out how to put the cars, like the raven cars or whatever, on. And that's really cool, because then that adds like a passive, right, like ability to your current spell or your current ability, and it just completely changes like the effect of it. So really cool stuff coming into like in Raven Quest, bro. So like, I've been having a ton of fun, to be honest.
And shout out to Sersky and Jackie in the chat. Enjoy the beautiful weather, Jackie, and enjoy that beach. You know, have fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm totally not jealous. No, I'm just kidding. But nah, I'm here kicking it with the boys, and you know, shout outs to calling your favorite podcast. I know you just don't say that. Like, we had to earn it for you to say it, so I appreciate that.
Let's go.
Big W.
Big W's, big W. But what's up with you, Hado? What did you bring up to this week?
Yeah, definitely not Raven's Quest. So yeah, I've been playing the fuck out of Beat Saber again.
Beat Saber, nice.
Yeah, I was looking for my head strap. Turns out it was under my bed the whole time. I thought it was in a car that was towed away, but it wasn't. So I've been playing Beat Saber. I did a 24-hour stream. Well, I did an 18-hour stream. I didn't make it 24 hours. I completed 2 single-player games, and you know, it's funny. It's like I never finish games ever, and I beat 2 of them. One was a photo game where you walk around and take pictures of things. Really, really unique game. You're like a sheep in a world where you're trying to find something called Toem, and that's the name of the game, by the way. I also beat a game called the Callisto Protocol, which was made by the creators of Dead Space, and I think Dead Space overall is still a better franchise, but it was definitely a fun game. Wasn't as spooky as I thought it would be, but I'm kicking up on the spooky stuff because it is the spooky season. So was playing that this week as well. Playing a bunch of Valorant on and off stream, and that has been a nightmare. I fucking hate that game, and I love it at the same time. And I saw that Yin was playing it on the timeline as well. So shout out to Yin for becoming one of us. But that's pretty much been my week.
I can't with your takes on Valorant, dude. I never know. Like, you're either like loving the game or you're hating the game.
Yeah, let me explain that. So the game itself is it can be 2 things, right? It could be someone is smurfing from another elo, which makes the game absolute hell. I'll tell you another way it could be hell too. People are just being complete dicks, right? Just like in League of Legends, if you lose in lane early, people just kind of throw the rest of the game, and you have to suffer for another 30 to 40 minutes. That's kind of how it is in Valorant too, where people will play bad and then or they'll just be dickheads on the mics and be annoying as fuck. And you kind of have to suffer until the game's over. And then the other thing is, like, people will smurf all the time, and you can tell they're smurfs because they'll have like 30 kills within the first, I don't know, like 10 rounds, and that's not normal for my elo. So you can tell that they're smurfing, and usually you can tell they're smurfing too because if they're playing with an account that's like a gold, and this is why I love Valtrack, you can like see who's smurfing. They're like former gold, whatever episode, and they're partnered up with somebody who's like a new account. That's the dead giveaway right there, because there's no way you playing with a new account And then the other thing too is like if they're iron 1, 2, or 3, and they're like their kill death ratio, it's like plus 20. Like that's a very, very easy way to see if they're smurfing. So it happens all the time. That's why I have a hate love relationship, because like when it's not abused in those two ways, the game's actually pretty fun. But in ranked play, that happens all the time, bro.
I just have a hate relationship with Valorant, so I don't relate at all. But it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, just think of CS and just think of the worst and the best parts of CS. That's pretty much how I could describe it.
Yeah. I love the way Valorant looks. I hate the way it plays.
Same.
Yeah, but
the constant battle with that game.
Yeah,
I don't know. After what it did to my PC, I was just like, "Yep, that's the last straw."
I still don't know how.
I'm done with it. It did it twice too.
I know.
It wasn't just once.
You and your PC issues, bro. I don't understand how you keep getting them.
I don't know. It was K, man. K,
God, you look like a GTA boss. You look like a GTA boss today.
I am a GTA boss, bro. What do you mean? You can find me. It's unreleased. We're not supposed to be talking about it. It's for GTA 6.
Oh yeah, it is in Florida too. What the fuck?
Of course, man. Come on, bro. You're ruining my contract. Like this is not good. Come on.
Is Charged Chocolate one
millions and millions of dollars to potential here that you're about to ruin?
Is Charged Chocolate one of the product placements in the game too?
Exactly, bro. My character is just like he's like a big endorser. I can talk about this out. I can't even expose this, But
I'm just giving you an alley oop to talk about Charged Chocolate for
no.
But it's okay. You never do.
So good. So it's so
I'm
good.
Charged up, baby.
I am.
Yo, but in other news, so you guys heard about the PlayStation 30th anniversary? Like
that
consoles?
Thing looks sick.
I don't know if it's like an so it's like just like a skin version of the PS5.
Oh, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up.
So it's a hardware shell that looks like a PlayStation 1. You also have controllers that look like PlayStation 1. And then there's also like a theme that comes with it or I don't know if it comes with it, but there's a theme that you can download. Because like PlayStation, they listen to their fan base, and like Nintendo, they actually want you to have themes. So like, well, obviously, like it's a great revenue source. Like, why would you not make themes that you could then buy, right? Like that's another revenue source. But it looks just like the PS1,
bro. That's nice.
It looks really cool.
I wonder if
they should have just gone all the way though and just recreated the PS1.
I mean, they already did that. I think
like they should have just recreated the PS1 and made it like modern.
I mean, I like that they brought the original like PS logo back into it. Like the rainbow one.
Now this would not be complete if you don't start, like when you start your system up, if it doesn't do the original sound, it's a fallacy. It has to do the original
sound.
That's the sound, bro. The startup sound.
Oh shit, dude, that's funny.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about if you played PlayStation 1.
Now this is dope. This is actually dope. It would be cool if they did maybe along with this like a set of like a playlist of backwards I guess like backwards compatible games, like bring a bunch of PS1 titles or something like that, That would be cool.
I mean, I haven't seen, well, I don't know if they have like a virtual console for PS1. I know they like the last two consoles had like a PlayStation Now thing, which was PS3 titles, but I don't know if they've gone as far back to PS1. I mean, it would be an easy money maker. I don't know how those games would hold up today, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they remaster some of them or some shit, like something cool like that. I don't know. But that's cool though, man. I think that's pretty dope. 30 years, It's crazy to think that we play like a console that came out like 30 years ago,
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, that's insane to me, dude. That's insane to me.
Yo, real quick. You have a YouTube comment here. It says, hello, like everyone, I like this program and comments so much. Thank you for this. Shout outs to our YouTube viewers.
Hell yeah. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. Let's go.
Sorry,
no, I was just gonna say it's even crazier because we've been playing consoles are even older than the PS1, right? Like,
oh yeah,
like imagine like going back to N64, like the original Nintendo, right? Like all these consoles, you're like, it's crazy, bro. It's just crazy how far technology has come,
dude. I mean, I started out on the NES,
brother. That's what I'm saying. Like, like Sega Genesis, like then going into the NES console, and then even like going back to the original Xbox or like the original PlayStation, like. it's just crazy, bro, to see like the evolution of technology, you know.
For sure, dude. It's been a long time coming. We've gone from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit to 64-bit. Now we have, dude, the other day I was looking at it was some sports game and I thought it was highlights of like a game, but it was just like the trailer for the game and I was like, "Oh shit." Like I had a boomer moment. I was like, I thought it was like real a real game, like actual like highlights from, you know, I think it was soccer. But it was like that's how far we come in graphics. Like sometimes I can't really tell. Like if I just glance at it, like I probably couldn't tell you the difference anymore, you know. But you gotta like study it. You can see like the animation and shit. But
yeah, I mean, that's like what was the? I mean, it's in GTA pretty much like the trailer for GTA 6 that they dropped was basically like super realistic. You get me? As far as like the graphics and stuff like that. I mean, you know, that's like historically been known across video games, right? Like when it comes to graphics, they've always are gonna be producing like a better product when it comes to that side of things, right? Like I remember like a good game, like I don't know if you ever played Far Cry, but like the early Far Cry, right? Like they were whatever, but like the more they like got like Far Cry 5, Far Cry, like even like Far Cry 3 and up, right? Like the graphics were insane, dude, in that game. Like I remember playing the one that you're like, I think you're in Africa or something, and like in certain part of the campaigns, like you fight like tigers and shit, like they come out of the nowhere while you're driving and stuff like that. Like all of those little details, you know, like now we look at them and we're like, there's so much products now that have that level of quality, right? That it's hard to like focus on those little details. But back then it was like you would see those little details and you'd be like, holy shit, like I was not expecting that, right? Like it's such a cool experience, right?
yeah, but you still have people on the spectrum where it's like you showed this in your trailer at E3 or whatever, and then you come out with a game and like the trees aren't swaying. Like Black Myth Wukong, for instance, they showed off like many years ago at E3 that the trees were swaying and all this stuff, and it's because they use like the most highest powered computer known to mankind, and then they want to bring it to console, and consoles always have to play catch up to PC. And so like there's even videos of people that were like exposing how the GTA 6 trailer was missing a lot of things when it comes to like shadows and just like animations and stuff, physics, like weird things with physics. And it's like, dude, they're aiming for realism. It doesn't mean it's going to be real. Like that's the thing you guys got to realize. I think we're maybe, I don't know, like Unreal 5 is a huge leap from Unreal 4, but I think maybe we're like 10 to 20 years until we can't tell the difference anymore. And that graphic power will be like incorporated in VR and AR technology.
You're only gonna get to that level of like feel, right? When it like only when it comes to AR. That's the only the only way you're gonna achieve that level, right? Like, and I can't even think like VR and AR reaching a level of technology where it triggers your brain into thinking that you can feel the environment. You get me? Like, like if you're feeling like if there's like a lot of breeze or like a lot of wind, like you'll feel the sensation of those things, right? Like, and granted, that technology already exists, right? If you go to a theme park like Disney or whatever, and you go to one of their experiences, they already have that technology in place, right? Where it's making you feel like in Epcot, there's like a ride where you go flying, right? And you go flying through like orange fields. And when you go to the orange fields, you can smell the oranges and like, you know, like it's just immersive, right? So like, I feel like that level of immersiveness you're going to achieve to VR. But even a game, when it comes to realism, right? What you were saying earlier, like even a game like Call of Duty, right? Which is supposed to be a quote unquote realistic game, right? Dude, the amount of shit you do in that game, you'll be like, come on, bro. Like ain't nobody running around with a fucking, you know, 50 cal sniper like it doesn't weigh anything. You feel me? Like there's certain levels that you're never gonna reach the level of realism. Even like Battlefield, right? Like there's certain things you did in Battlefield, you're like, I'm defying gravity right now. But you know what? It's fun. It's fun.
We are definitely close to the experience. My friend actually went to a movie theater for like one of those real life movie theaters for Deadpool and Wolverine, but he didn't know.
Oh yeah, like that.
And he was high as fuck in the theater. Like that shit like fucked him up. But like they have that level of like realism in the theaters where it's like if it's like raining or something, you feel and hear the rain through the theater, right? Like all that realism stuff exists in some capacity, but like what we're talking about is like the truly immersive experience where you can't tell reality from fiction anymore. I think that's coming. I just don't think it's going to be in the way that we believe it's going to be coming. I think that's going to be more like implants and shit.
Like Sword Art Online type of shit.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I just want like an AR gaming experience where I can invite the homies over to the crib and we're like just fucking running around the living room like punching fucking zombies that are like look like they're in our living room type shit.
Ooh,
shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, there was a place in I think it was either Salt Lake or just Utah. I can't remember exactly where, but it's in Utah somewhere. And they set up like this whole warehouse to be like a maze. And in that maze, you would have to wear VR. And in the game, you would have to like kill zombies and shit like you're talking about. So like they've made facilities like this. There's also like this place in Austin where it's like an escape room / maze, and it's like the setting is like a zombie thing. So you have to like walk around with guns and stuff. You have the VR stuff on, and so like they have one of those I forgot what they call, but it's like a orbital like treadmill where like every way you go, like you're walking.
Yeah.
They have experiences like that. It's very costly, but they're definitely like we're getting close to that point where it's becoming more affordable for like the end user. Also, one more thing, Klaus, you were talking about like the feeling of the sensation and stuff. They have haptic feedback suits now that you can wear, and it's like if you're playing a game like Blade and Sorcery, for instance, you get like cut in the game, it like
and you feel it.
So like they're definitely doing stuff like that. It's crazy.
Same thing. Yeah, man. Like I said, like the technology is already out there for sure. Like when you look at cinematography, right? Like you look at movies and all this type of stuff, right? Like they already have suits that emulate like the feeling of like if you get shot, right? Like it shocks you and like it gives you that sensation of like what that pain would feel like, right? Like so I mean I'm not saying like they're gonna implement it to that level of realism in games, right? Because you definitely don't wanna experience the actual shock of like what a bullet feels like, right? Because like I don't think you want to experience that in like a game like Call of Duty where somebody's gonna be shooting like 30 bullets into your body, right? Like you know, like
can you imagine like dying
tagging you and like shooting your body and you're like actually feeling this in real life, you know, like
like getting airstrike 20 deaths per game. Like
like imagine like the Storm in Black Ops 2 where it's like a bunch of little planes just flying around.
Oh, like the dogs in Black Ops, so you're just getting
oh my god, dude, you're like getting like oh my god, dude, it would be horrible. It'll be horrible, yeah. But you know, like I definitely think you're right. Like the technology is definitely available already. I think it's just a matter of figuring out, and we talked about this a few episodes ago, is the mass distribution, right? Like how do you make it cost effective enough so that enough people have this technology available in order to produce the daily active users that you're going to need to sustain the, you know, the productivity of the product, right? Like the production and the manufacturing of the product. So like I think that's a missing piece right there. It's just the cost of the product itself. Like because obviously VR has it, AR has it, but how do you get it into people's hand so that
government grants and mandates is my guess.
Yeah, I mean that's like if you wanna like do it in a quick way, right? That is more control. But like I feel like there's like ways to do it like in like a private, like I can see a private company like doing that as well, right? Like and doing some cool stuff with that type of technology, like kind of like Elon did with SpaceX and all that.
Like what's to stop anyone from making a game around the last remaining Bitcoin? And then you have to like play this game to mine it or something. Like it's a new way that they mined it or something. And like that's like the Ready Player One scenario that everyone's waiting for. The government's like, oh shit, we got to go all in on this. And then like everyone's making a game around it.
National alert! We need the last Bitcoin.
Be a fucking dope movie title, The Last Bitcoin.
Yo, real quick, Jackie, your first gaming console was the original Xbox. That's actually pretty dope.
I hate that we have to call it the original Xbox because they decided to make Xbox One. Isn't that annoying?
Well, no, it's very annoying. It's the Xbox, and then Xbox 360, and then Xbox One. Like I wouldn't say the original Xbox. I would just say Xbox.
Yeah, but it's like, why did we do the reboot meta that we do in movies? Like, we're not the movie industry. We're different.
Yeah, I always thought that we're gonna go with Xbox 720. You guys remember when that was like a prototype?
Yep, I remember that.
And I was like, man, that would have been so cool. And it was supposed to be like that sphere-looking like 360. You guys ever saw that prototype?
Yes, it was fucking amazing.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I will always say this to the day I die. The best naming convention for any console was the GameCube because it was literally cube shaped. It was the best concept ever. And that thing was sturdy, dude. I dropped this shit down the stairs like 3 or 4 times, never broke, was fully functional.
Yeah, I think the GameCube, as far as naming and presentation, like it was beautiful, right? And you felt like you needed to have one at that moment in time. It was just like, bro, if you don't have a GameCube, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and it had a little fucking handle on the back of it.
Yeah.
Like, it was so thoughtful.
Yeah, and Jackie, Jackie thought it was cute, so it was definitely popular with the female crowd.
It must have. This is where her Animal Crossing journey must have started. That's where mine started.
Yeah, so for me, it's like, I view something where it's like, okay, why did they go with the Xbox One? Like, I've never understood that at all, because the 720 concept, the design, the way that they wanted to put it together was it had icon potential. Yeah, like I don't think anyone views the
like
Xbox
One
helmet as iconic.
This looks like a helmet, dude.
That shit looks like straight out of a fucking futuristic film. That does not look practical at all.
I remember seeing this one, and I also remember seeing this one. Like,
dude,
like a fucking space.
Dude, I love the controllers that they keep. Like, look at the controller, the Reddit one.
This one?
No, above to left.
Oh, this one?
No, to the left of that.
Oh, yeah.
That. Like, these concepts for controllers are so stupid. Like, what are those, like 4 fucking joysticks
what is
on
this
the right?
joystick? What is this joystick in the middle supposed to be for?
Yeah. It I don't think it was practical, but like, does it have to be as a gaming product? Like, it has to be a part of the room design, in my opinion. And that looks way better on, like a gaming, whatever the fuck we're supposed to call it, like an entertainment system, than the Xbox One. Like, that shit could be anything.
Do you guys know why they call it the Xbox, by the way? I do. If you guys know.
No, go for it.
Yeah, so the reason why they decided to do that is because originally they wanted to make an affordable PC in a gaming console sort of sense. And the whole X thing is the DirectX software. So DirectX, if you guys don't know, is like what powers most of the games on Windows. It gives you like a level of programmability. And so they were going to call it the DirectX box. And they're like, that's too long of a name. So they just cut off the direct part and they just made it Xbox.
That's pretty cool. Never knew that.
I'm a nerd.
There you go, guys. Some Xbox early lore for you guys.
The history of
Microsoft always thinking ahead, man.
I knew my nerdism would pay off someday. Finally.
Yeah, like Jackie's saying. I didn't know that. Thanks, Hado. Yo, but in other news, going back to like games that have been popping this week, I am so fucking hyped for season 2 of XDefiant, bro. They're coming out finally with custom lobbies, which I'm fucking super hyped for.
Finally.
Wait, that still hasn't been a thing? What the fuck?
Nah. They're doing the beta for custom lobbies in season 2. So I'm super excited about it because
1v1s.
Yep, we can finally dispute some 1v1 situations. And they're also coming out with like 4 new weapons, like 4 new maps, a new faction. Dude, they're cooking. They're absolutely.
I'm re-downloading it tonight.
They're absolutely cooking for season 2, but I keep seeing like this almost like this like hate culture around this game, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know why there's so many people that want this game to fail, and they just keep like painting this like image of like the game that like XDefiant is dying, basically. You get me? And I just don't see it, bro, because I don't have any issues. And I don't know, maybe you guys that don't play as often as I do, but like I literally don't see any issues with this game when it comes to like finding matches or like finding activity inside the game.
I don't see any issues that don't exist anywhere else. Like, yeah, there's certain things about the gameplay that could go on, but if my FPS of choice is XDefiant, like if I'm playing FPS, that's the one I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
I just think it's popular to hate on because a lot of people get awkwardly emotionally attached to franchises, and like,
true,
it's just like, guys, you got to take it for what it exactly is. This game is better than Call of Duty currently, in my opinion.
I think really what it is people are trying to find a Call of Duty killer, and you have all these loyalists that have lived with this franchise for so long. It's kind of like whenever someone else makes an RPG game. Yeah, it's not Final Fantasy though. You know what I mean? Like everyone has this like comparison thing. I think that if the community didn't see it as like the Call of Duty killer or whatever, it would be its own contained FPS shooter. But because it has so many similarities to Call of Duty, you have this like Call of Duty fan base that is just like always going to want to shit on it because it looks like Call of Duty and it's not Call of Duty. So I think it's just like an envious thing.
It's like, I mean, but to me, it's so different from Call of Duty, right? Like it has the abilities, it doesn't have kill streaks, like there. In my opinion, the only thing that makes them similar is like maybe a similar aesthetic and the fact that they're both FPSs and they're catering to like a similar crowd. But I would in no way, shape, or form would say, "Oh, this is it's its own thing. It's not a Call of Duty killer." I just think that the Call of Duty community is upset about the fact that there are people that used to play Call of Duty that now prefer this game.
The thing to me is that XDefiant caters, right? XDefiant has all the mechanics, right, that old school Call of Duty players want to see in Call of Duty, right? Like any pro player in Call of Duty would enjoy like the mechanics in XDefiant, for example, right? Like any old school Call of Duty player, right? I'm talking about old school like Black Ops 2, Ghost, those type of games, right? Like Black Ops 1, MW2, etc., right? If you were back in those days playing Call of Duties, like you would enjoy XDefiant and the type of mechanics that it brings, right? Exactly. What happens now is that you have the new Call of Duty community, right? And like, or the new kids that are playing Call of Duty. The majority of them are not even like multiplayer players, right? Like they're not even playing multiplayer in Call of Duty. They're playing Warzone. So the majority, it's true. Like the majority.
No, I'm
like,
laughing at the comment.
Oh, the Duty killer. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard, bro. Call of Duty, you know how it is. But like the majority of Call of Duty fans now are Warzone fans. They're not even like actually playing the multiplayer or like rank play inside Call of Duty. The people that are still playing that are people that are involved in the esports side of things, right? Like people that are playing in challenger leagues, or maybe the people that are actually pro players, right? And are actually making content around like the rank play and all that type of shit. There's a very small like daily users, right? That's from like the public crowd, like just regular people, right? That play rank play every day or like play multiplayer every day. They rather play Warzone because it has more content. It has different mechanics, right? It's a BR. It's not really like, you cannot tell me right now that you've been happy with the rank play and the way it plays in Call of Duty for the last 5 years. If you told me that you've been happy with those mechanics and the way those game modes play, you're an absolute psycho, dude. And I don't know if I can trust your judgment when it comes to like competitive like playlists, but that's where I enjoy XDefiant. Is yes, I'm an old school Call of Duty player. I'm leaning towards those mechanics, minus the abilities that Missy was mentioning, right? Like I'm not a huge fan of abilities, but again, like I was telling you, Hado, like I think I was telling you this off camera the other day or like a few weeks ago. I find myself often in XDefiant not even using the abilities of the faction. You get me? I'm literally constantly. I'm never even using like LB or RB and LB for the ultimate, right? I'm never even using those abilities. Yeah, I play on controller, brother. So you have to play on controller. That's maybe what you don't, that's maybe what you don't enjoy it and why you deleted it.
And I never will. It's a PC game, not a console game. But it's okay. Keep going.
It doesn't have to be console. It's just controller compatibility, brother. So
tomato.
I mean, whatever. It plays well on controller, so that's why I play. But yeah, man, that's how I feel about XDefiant. I don't think the game is dying at all. I think the game is very healthy. I think the team is doing a great job at listening to important feedback that matters and implementing that feedback and doing it quickly. And like the biggest issue that people are complaining about, like the net code and like the progression models and adding more content to progression models, those are coming, bro. But those type of changes take time. You cannot expect the team to just like snap their fingers and fix all of that without causing any issues. The
only thing that I will say is when I do play XDefiant, I play against the same people every time. Not the exact same people every play session, but when there is a play session I'm playing, there'll be 3 or 4 games that I've played with the same dude. And it's not like
Are
It's
you
not like I
backing out of
hopped
the lobby
right
and
back
like
into it.
are
No,
you
like
staying in the lobby like when the game
no,
ends?
not
You're
always.
backing out and going back in. Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes I'll let it go and like the same people. Sometimes I'll leave and come back, and I'm like, that's the same motherfucker that killed me in the last game.
Yeah.
So there's like
And
match.
that may continue to happen because it doesn't have skill-based matchmaking in it. So you're not gonna get paired up by people that are on your same level of playing. You get me? Like it's just gonna pair you up based on your like latency and like how close you are to each other, essentially. You know,
Yeah.
like so like yeah, I personally enjoy that. I hate getting paired up based off my skill base. You get me? Like because then I'm constantly playing with people that are on the same level as I am versus playing with somebody that could potentially be way better than I am. You get me?
Who's on your level? I'm just kidding.
Not
No,
you.
but well, now that we have custom, we can find out. Because last time we did a 1v1 sniper
For sure.
montage or
For sure.
sniper thing,
That was in a very different game. It was in a
I
very
crushed
different game.
him, folks. I crushed him
All
in
right, man.
CS:GO. It
Sure,
was an
sure.
absolute massacre. It was a nightmare. I had the best snipes, the best
That's how you
snipes
know.
ever.
Alright.
That's how you know you don't know my history in CS:GO. Because if you knew my history, I open cases in
Check
CS, so I
out the
don't play the game.
Creator Clash on YouTube. It's still up. I crushed the competition, folks. Nobody does sniping montages like me.
All right,
All
man.
right. All
Anyways,
right. So, now that we're past that,
yeah.
I think as far as X Defiant, I don't even think objectively it's not dead. It has over 1 million players. Like we were going over the stats earlier. It
Can
has
you pull
built
those
its
up?
own yeah, I think Cloud has it. It has built
Oh yeah, yeah.
its own fandom. It's paving its own lane. I think this is a franchise that has the potential to be strong for many years to come. I think being biased to a franchise just because you came from it is stupid. Like, I would love for a game to spawn tomorrow that's better than World of Warcraft. It's just never happened. Like, no MMORPG in history has even come close. If we had something that was as close as X Defiant was to COD, I would be playing that game today just to try something fucking new. But there's nothing in the same league as WoW. That's my problem. Like, I'm not loyal to WoW because it's World of Warcraft. I play World of Warcraft because we don't have any other fucking options. At least you motherfuckers have options. And the fact that you're in any way, shape, or form trying to shit on it is just like you're a bunch of dumbasses.
Hold on. They went from 800K
Well, even like here, bro,
to
like
400K.
no, so like we can look at the stats here. When they first released back in May in 2024, they gained 2 million and 2.5 million users upon release, right? And then in June, they lost 700,000 users, leaving them with 1.8. Then July, they lost another 215, leaving them with 1.585. And then in August, they gained 65,000, putting them back up at 1.6. Then in the last 30 days, they lost 100K, putting them at 1.5 million. But again, to say a game is dying with 1.5 million users, I mean, shit. If we're saying that about Valorant, then
DAUs. This
in the last 30 days.
This eats all of Web3's lunch. So let's move on.
That's what I'm saying. If we're saying that a game like this in the last 30 days is dead, then shit, I don't want to hear anything about Pixels.
You want to talk
I don't
about
want to hear anything about Pixels talking about like being the most alive game ever. We're fucking nuts.
Come to Web3. We'll show you dead.
I've never had to wait more than 15 seconds to find a lobby in fucking X Defiant at any time of the day. So to me, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that shit is not dead by any means.
Now, I would like to see.
Look. X Defiant player distribution by region. Let's see. Surprisingly, they have the highest distribution in Germany. That's crazy. Where's the United States?
Mojo. We're talking about how X Defiant is not dead.
On the list.
Yeah, Mojo. We're talking about how X Defiant is not dead because everyone in the COD community keeps trying to push this narrative that it's dead, and it's like very far from the fucking truth, basically.
Yeah.
It's like
I also feel a lot of the people that are complaining and saying that it is dead are console players. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's an issue within consoles. You get me? Like, bro, sorry, your Xbox or lobbies are not being full, I guess. But in PC, at least, I know in PC, there's not that. We don't have any issues.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I had no idea this was on console.
Yeah, it's on.
Me neither did I. To be honest,
it's on Xbox One. It's on Xbox One and PS5. Yeah.
I don't even play
I don't know
on
if it's
console
I don't know
anymore.
if it's
This is news to me.
cross compatible.
Yeah,
But if it is cross compatible, I don't know. Oh, it's
yeah.
not. It's
Like,
not cross compatible.
if you still playing console in 2024, bro, you're a dinosaur. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, I love
Just
my
saying.
Switch. It hasn't been charged in a
Okay,
while.
Switch is like its own lane, though. You feel me? Like, it's a part of a very addressable like IP. Everything else is on fucking PC for the most part. And
Their average daily players
Switch is almost like a
95,000,
culture
bro.
product.
That's true.
It's how much?
95,000 is their daily active players.
Yeah,
like
that's
their
fine,
average.
man. That's not dead. The fuck? It's not even fully out. It's still in beta.
And
Yeah,
it's
like,
free.
I mean, it's a free game. That's what I'm saying. It's a free to play game that's actively being updated.
Now, how
It is
many
fully out, but
DAU
it's actively being updated.
What's the DAU of Valorant? That's what I want to know.
Oh, it's like on the top 6. It says it up here.
5 million people.
The number one game is Fortnite, then Counter-Strike 2, then League of Legends, then Black Myth, Overwatch, then Valorant.
What the fuck? Wait, the all-time peak for Valorant is 6.8 million. That's I can't even comprehend that. How there's that many PCs? Oh wait, they went console too. Wait. So I think the number jumped
crazy.
because they went consoles too. So like that might be like a manufactured stat line. I wonder what it was before, like when it was just PC. But with console, I guess there's a lot of people playing Valorant on console. That's crazy. I don't know how you could play that game with a controller, but
Yo, Dojo, Mojo, I know you can't make any content on off the grid, but how's the experience been on the console side? Like you tried it already on the PS5?
You got a PS5 to play off the grid. First of all, respect. That's dedication.
Respect.
I wouldn't buy no PS5 to play that shit. And what I would love to hear, your takes on it, bro. All right, that's all you need to know. Apparently,
yeah,
that sounds good from Mojo. Like,
also, I do want to apologize, Mojo. I'm sorry I couldn't make your Smash tournament. I just don't think that I should play Wi-Fi tournaments. That's going to be no fun for anyone.
You fucking up, Hato. You fucking up.
Hey, I don't have an Ethernet cable for this thing.
See, he said it's fire. He said it's fire.
It's fire. I mean, okay.
You know, I respect Mojo's opinion on games. We have a lot of similar interests when it comes to gaming. Mojo's the homie.
The first of many.
Also, Mojo, you're also from New York, right? I'm pretty sure Mojo's from New York.
Yeah. Oh, he's from New York.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we're both from New York. He knows what's up.
New Yorkers.
Hell yeah, let's go.
The Giants suck.
All right, yo. Speaking of shooter games, so do you guys see that new third person shooter that Parallel is working on? It's called Project Tau Ceti.
Yeah, the animations.
Project who?
Project Tau Ceti.
Let's pull that up. Honestly, I haven't looked at this shit. I'll be honest.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not.
But I'll be honest. I was like, why is a card game like releasing a shooter?
Because the card game ain't working.
It looked like Battlefront to me, bro.
The card game ain't working. That's your take, Hato? The card game ain't working.
Why else would you pivot?
I mean, isn't this a part of the interoperable experience? You know, no, I'm just kidding.
Bro, is that a Cade?
Is that
a Cade voice I hear?
Listen, after I watched this trailer, I felt the same way I feel about Parallel. Everything they do is kind of boring, bro. Like even watching this trailer that we're about to watch, I was like, my God,
wait,
this is like
don't say that to the Token 2049 people. It's the best thing ever. It was like revealed behind closed doors, VIP experience. Don't say that, bro.
I'll let this trailer
send us to zero.
On that.
Not long ago, our art team got together to imagine what a shooter game set in the Parallel universe could look like.
Oh my God, this shit look janky.
What began as a side project quickly grew beyond our expectations.
The art
fueled
looks cool.
by our community's incredible response to the idea. Driven by your passion and feedback, we embarked on a journey to create like expansive
Destiny
new
if
environments.
It was made by Temu.
Detailed characters.
That Elon Musk?
Yep.
challenging enemies, and unique creatures, each
Oh, it's the
thoughtfully
Avatar.
designed to enhance and broaden the
Yo,
like
world.
is that a bull that did a lot of weed? What the fuck?
That's a
We are
that's a
leveraging
bull
the
that's been waiting for
curated
the
work
bull
from our
market to
avatars
start.
collection, our extensive 3D assets
That's an I Am
library,
Legend bull.
and the latest in Web3 technology, all brought together through the power of Unreal Engine.
Oh yeah, flex that Unreal Engine. Anyone can do that.
Today,
Oh,
we are
yeah.
excited to share a first glimpse into Project Tau Ceti.
Oh, Tau
Tau
Ceti.
Ceti.
I wasn't that off.
Tau Ceti.
Tau Ceti.
South City.
It sounds interesting.
That sounds
That's why
like
they
an
named it.
exotic like herb that you put on your food.
It's like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's Star Wars sound effects. Or it feels like it anyway.
That name has to go. Yeah,
Yo, that nigga got hops. Goddamn.
The name's got to go, Jackie. We'll address that with the team.
oh shit, Panther.
The Black Panther.
I just know Italian people are gonna call it Tau Ceti. That's just gonna be funny.
What is B3?
Oh, that's base layer 3. It's a layer 3 blockchain from base ecosystem.
What the fuck is a layer 3? Sorry.
Bro.
this is-
Motherfucker, I don't make the damn tech. I'm just telling you what it is.
When do we get layer
Goddamn.
10 blockchains? What does that
Tau.
look like?
Tau Ceti. The art looks all right. So I'm gonna go back in the chat. The art looks dope, but with nothing crazy at all. I agree. Can't even pronounce that shit. Listen, all I know is that in Italy they're gonna be calling it Tau Ceti, and I'm gonna make a compilation or some shit of that. I'm gonna fly out to Italy and be like, "Hey, you pronounce this name," and just have a bunch of people be like Tau Ceti and just like make it into content or something. I don't know. It'll be fun.
You guys ever mess with a random name generator thing? It sounds like if someone went to the Star Wars random name generator and like just kept pressing it.
Maybe it has a functional purpose within their lore. We don't know. I know we're not experts on parallel here. You know, Money Plane is our parallel expert within the Catalyst community, so we're gonna have to ask him. As far as my personal opinion on that trailer, I mean, it's definitely not my flavor so far. As far as like the excitement factor, Clouds is a little. I can't say Clouds was wrong about his initial his initial feedback. It is a little boring.
Did he fall asleep?
What? I'm sorry, guys. Are we still talking about Parallel? Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like this is a competitor to Illuvium more than it is like a competitor to Nyan Heroes or something. You know what I mean? Or should I say Nyan Heroes?
No, it's a competitor to Bungie, bro.
I will
like,
give them. I will give Parallel more credit. I would say, like from what I saw in that trailer, if it comes out to market like that,
like Illuvium's dead.
Well, I mean, I would just say that looks like a better experience in my opinion than Illuvium and Star Atlas.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they pull this up, and I mean, if it's even slightly functional with what they already got, like the whole Illuvium community gonna be dipping. You know, like it's gone.
Yeah, this game looks this game looks like you have a good assessment there with Battlefront in terms of like the combat moving and all this, like the animations look like Battlefront, but it looks like they're trying to be Destiny with like the floating orbs and shit. And look, it could. It's hard to judge this because this looks very early footage, and I think it's the problem with Web3 stuff is like. I get it. Like they want to build out in public, but the gaming market is a very different market than like NFT market where it's like you're building in public. It's early days. It's like everyone has like fresh ideas. Cool. Now in a game, you have to like wow the masses with your gameplay. And the trailer has to be like a certain way. And I think we're past the point where like the trailer is superseding the gameplay because now you're showing gameplay and the gameplay doesn't look anywhere near like if they put in alpha or whatever or alpha footage, in-game footage, then I'd be like, all right, cool. This is early. I have the expectation set. But now it's like, did they mention that at all? I don't know if I missed that detail, but if they don't put that fucking very important detail that this is early alpha stages of the gameplay, and we're building on top of this versus like this is the product, right? That's why we're judging it a certain way because we're like, what the fuck is this? versus like, oh, it's
that's,
early. I
that's
understand.
actually a really good point. I feel like if they could have done that, I feel like the content piece that we just watched, the execution of that content pieces was what was lacking, right? Like I feel like I was watching like a presentation or some shit like that, like our teams, like you could, it's like AI like presentation or something, So like,
Yeah.
like I feel like they could have done like a better job at like
Yeah.
coming up with like a trailer that gave that wow factor a little bit more, But
that
And
and hide your weaknesses. Like in the earliest part of the trailer, you see her running with the handgun, and the gun is like bouncing up and down in her hand, right? And I'm just like, yo, that looks janky. Like I couldn't help it. Like I knew it was alpha. I knew it was early. I know they're just trying to show the concept, and still, like my brain was like, oh my god, why is the gun bouncing? It was driving me crazy. Like
that's why these words matter. This teaser,
Yeah.
in alpha footage, not final product. Those things are very important because also if you're trying to attract investors, you're like saying, all right, this is the concept we've built. Please help us fund. Also to the gamers, this is not the full version of the game. Please don't think that this is the full version. And the reason why they put that huge disclaimer there is for investment. It's also for giving like mute expectations instead of having an expectation that this is the best thing coming out, right? This is the first stage of what we're showing. This is the concept. They do say that of what their vision is, but the problem is it's not also being met with text on the screen. And now we're like seeing this as like, oh, this is the next thing that Parallel is shifting to. Why is this happening, right? There's too many questions that trailer didn't solve. So again, context matters so much in this instance. I don't understand why a card game would pivot into this unless the card game is failing.
I mean, I to be fair, they had always had like an interoperable kind of IP, like existing in
That's
multiple realms type of conversation. I think what I would love to know as both like a gamer and like I guess a Web3 person, you could call it, is like what happens to all the card NFTs? Like, is it just going to be limited to the card game? Are they going to have something that comes to life inside of this game? Is there going to be a card based mechanic in the shooter that makes those like card NFTs come to life? I'm a little interested in how, like, if you're trying to be interoperable with IP, I'm sure they've already thought of it. Maybe they've even talked about it. I just haven't personally heard about it in any way. I would love to know about that side of it.
Yeah, you could have those cards be like an upgrade system or like skill tree type shit.
Yeah. Because that could be cool, Like, I feel like they've built a lot. Yeah, see, Mojo said, I saw FPS gameplay years ago, so I know they must have thought this through. Or TPS, third-person shooter. Not to... Yeah, Mojo corrected himself. Don't flame him in the comments when you watch this clip later. But he, they always built with like the multi-ecosystem shit in mind. So I'm sure they have a functional use for the cards. Yeah. I'm willing to try it. I'll try it before I give an official opinion on it. I think it looks better than Illuvium if that's its competitor.
Yeah,
that
would be cool if they use the cards like as kill streaks, almost like in the game. Like using the cards like in that way. But it'll be cool to see what they do.
The one thing I would like for them to do, and feel free to take this Web3 gaming industry. If you're going to do stuff to build your lore and you have a fucking trailer, use gameplay cuts and cuts of cutscenes that you're building, because that kind of gives you like insight into what Tau Ceti would be. Now what we think Tau Ceti is like a scuffed running animation with the gun bouncing, some interesting looking animals, and Battlefront like gameplay, right? Like give us the cutscenes of like story without revealing the story, because that way the audience gets to see like what the lore looks like and like some of the characters that you could be running into. Think of Master Chief in all the cutscenes that we have with like the Halo games. They always show like a villain. They always show like the grunts and stuff. Like give you like the expectation of like what's going to go on. And they did a decent job with like the gameplay part of it. But like the story, I have no idea what the fuck's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a good point, from the lore story building perspective. It's still, what I will give them credit for, it still felt like Parallel, which is at least a step in the right direction. It wasn't like I would mistake it for anything else in our space. Like it felt like Parallel.
Yeah, no, the IP is there for sure.
Yeah.
I think they've done a pretty good job of like IP when it comes to like what Parallel looks like. even though we may not like the look of Parallel. I think they've done a pretty good job with like the branding and IP side of it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen. They definitely have their fans, right? Like that's the subjective part, right? Like for me personally, I just don't like it, you know. But like, I'm not saying like there isn't someone out there that enjoys it or not, you know. Like, so yeah, I think it's something to keep our eyes on and see how they continue to develop and see what they do with that type of experience and developing a third person shooter that's more like open world, like Destiny or like you know, Battlefront style. So
it definitely has his IP super fans. Like Money, when he starts talking about Parallel, he's super passionate about it.
Right.
Like even before he started working at the foundation, he was super passionate about it. He just sounded like he was speaking Chinese to me, but I mean, motherfucker was like Qatari and this and that, and I was like, okay, man. Like,
yeah, they even represented us with Catalyst Bond.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that shit.
I forgot they did that. They changed the name afterwards.
Shout out to them for representing our brand. That was so cool. We didn't ask for that.
Yo, I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Me too, dude. I forgot.
What's the other one? The fucking Catalyst Collective or whatever.
Group. I forgot. Who did that? Yeah,
it was some dude named Shiv and like a bunch of other people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
like, we're gonna do this regardless. And I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just letting you know, like, it ain't gonna work. Like, there's only one Catalyst around here. And yeah, they haven't posted since May, so I think they got the message.
Well, we have a lot of people that are either fans or that are guild members that whenever they see something Catalyst related, they always shit on it. So that helps.
Yeah, they got fucking destroyed for sure. But yeah, shout out to Parallel. At least they're trying. You know, they're always trying to push the needle, even when it comes to marketing, like marketing fighting events. You know, trying to create unique experiences that make their community happy. And I mean, they've been beefing with Hearthstone like crazy, which is interesting. I don't think enough people talk about that shit.
Didn't they bring over like a bunch of their community?
Yeah.
Like,
so the Hearthstone community fucking hates Parallel. Like, it's almost like the X Defiant of Hearthstone, right? Wow. In the sense that there's a lot of people that are like, this is a scam game, and they like go for it and they start trash talking Parallel like everywhere, because Parallel has quietly been like, I don't want to use the word acquiring because you can't acquire creators, right? But like they've slowly been signing creators to like deals where they create content about Parallel, educate their community about Parallel. And these people are authentic fans of Parallel. It's not like they hate on Parallel and they're deciding to take the bag. Like when they talk about it, you can see the passion, you can see the excitement for that they have for Parallel. And a lot of the fandom is like, it's like split. There's a lot of fandom that's like, hey, this is something new, let's check it out. But then there's a lot of fandom that like shits on it every second that they get. And it's crazy to me. So I mean, they're having some sort of mainstream adoption just through the hate, which to me, like, hate is the best form of marketing. So
yeah. I mean, you know, it's definitely gonna get you a lot of eyes on you. So, but I think as long as they continue to execute and you know, produce like experiences and products are like actually like real, like they doesn't matter what you say, you can call them a scam all you want, but if they're actually producing and delivering, then you can shove that up, you know what, you know. So
yep.
But actually, speaking of the next scams, though, you guys heard that Flappy Bird is in fact making a return through Web3. Motherfuckers are becoming.
How does Flappy Bird even make sense as a Web3 game?
The Nest Telegram game, baby.
Oh god, how does that shit even make sense as a Web3 game though? Did people spend money in Flappy Bird like that? Like,
bro, I don't even know.
I never played that shit, so I can't.
There is a trailer, so let's watch it real quick. But I don't even know. I don't even know what to make sense of this, because there's so much going on with the IP itself, you know, with the original founder not being involved, and these people claiming that they're acquiring the IP, you know, like this is just looking like red flags everywhere, bro. So I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but let's watch this trailer real quick. Let me see if I can get it here. There we go.
All right. Damn, it's only been 10 years. It feels like so much longer. Can we full screen it or no?
I was trying to do, but it doesn't let me. Oh, I think I have to go to YouTube. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up.
Yeah. I can't believe it's only been 10 years since Flappy Bird even was a thing. It feels like longer to me in my mind. But it's I still don't get how Flappy Bird makes sense as a Web3 game. Like mechanically. Why would it need NFTs or tokens?
Not sure.
10 years ago, an autonomous world far away.
Latest gaming sensation,
God.
Flappy Bird.
It's like endless Telegram game, right? So like I feel like that's why people are trying to make it like a Telegram game.
The number one app in over 100 countries. It's a global sensation.
And people going crazy by the addictive nature of the game until suddenly it was game over.
The mobile game Flappy Bird has been taken off the Apple App Store and Google
Users across
Dude, with the
social
hammer.
media expressing their disappointment.
You can't play
Their
Flappy
game
Bird
is
anymore.
gone. Rest in peace.
Wait, the
PewDiePie.
news reported on this?
Yeah, dude, this is like a huge game. Like people became like highly like addicted to this game.
Wow.
Like this was like a big thing. Yeah. Dude. Tap, flap, earn.
They should have did tap, fap, earn. That would have been better.
Oh, you're opening eggs. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
So you're gonna collect skins. Oh wow, that's really gonna make it a Web3 game. My
Hey,
god, bro.
hey.
This is what people make fun of us for, bro. Now I remember like a couple weeks ago where the Telegram founder got arrested and
Yep.
he was let out. Now I understand why they arrested his ass. They must have seen this trailer.
They need to put him back in jail if he has
so
any
there's
hands
actually-
in this.
There's actually this website that I think breaks down like the whole like economy, I guess, of it or whatever.
Oh man, what meaningful economy can you build around Flappy Bird? You're like bouncing through fucking like Mario. Fucking it looks like Mario to me. That's why I never played it because I was like,
I
Alright.
just
Oh,
couldn't-
they're building it. They're building it on Solana, apparently.
oh
I
god.
just couldn't take it with this fucking like epic cinematic theme, and it's just a fucking 8-bit bird jumping over pipes. Like,
Pause,
Brother. What?
hey,
brother.
we're not even going there, dude. It's fucking not even on that wavelength, Mizzy. Not even there.
Bro, it just I don't know.
Alright,
That
hold
wasn't
on.
exciting for me to look at, but I never played Angry Birds, so I'm obviously not the target market.
I feel like I dropped out of a plane and someone just shot the fuck out of my parachute, and I'm just falling to my death watching that shit. That's how I feel.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel. That's
I
crazy.
just did.
That's fucking crazy. That is very descriptive.
All right, so let's look at
Ah!
let's look at the official website for the new Flappy Bird. The official website. It
Oh
says,
my
just a
god.
decade ago, I was the talk of the town and soaring through the new heights with my 100 million friends. Sadly, I had to leave the fame and spotlight behind to go home and find out who I really am. Thanks to my super Flappy Bird fans, I'm refreshed, reinvigorated, and ready to soar again. The decade-long mission involved acquiring legal rights and even work toward my what does it say? Predecessor to encage me.
Predecessor.
Predecessor.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Predecessor to unlock me, to encage me, and rehash the official Flappy Bird game. And we have some new characters. We have Peng, which looks like a penguin, I think.
Mhm.
Meet Peng, the adorable. Fuck, stop moving. The adorable plump penguin who dreams soaring the skies.
Stop moving.
Quirky. Say hello to Quirky, the unique bird with unicorn horn. Wow. Isn't this like the guy from
Angry Bird.
Yeah, Angry Bird. Yeah, for real. Trixie.
What the fuck
Okay.
is that?
So those are the new characters.
Is that a
Think
fucking
you got game?
basketball? Oh hell
Basketballer,
no!
skill shooting,
Oh
Flappy
hell
Bird.
no!
Oh, you can go through.
You
You
just
can
made
go
my
through
voice
basketball
squeak.
hoop. New game modes. Flappy Bird, bro. They literally copying every IP they can.
Oh! Flappy Bird Rivals. What is BR? or Bird Rivals
Yeah.
BNR Battle Royale, and that's the fucking Fortnite Battle Bus. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Fuck this
dude.
shit.
There's so
Flappy Bird
many
to
like
zero.
IP infringement going on here. Flappy Bird easy mode. Okay. Is that the entire website?
What
That's
the hell
it.
was that?
That's it. That's the entire website.
I was packing a cigarette.
Oh, that's not what I heard.
I was
That is-
packing a cigarette pack.
This is interesting, bro. It's very interesting.
Man, this is not gonna go well. I can already tell.
Yeah.
Clip this. All right. So today is September 22nd, 2024. And we of the Callous Effect are here from the future to tell you that this shit is going to be a shit show. It's going to crash and burn. Flappy Bird does not belong in Web3. Not all Web3 people are scammers and want to see this shit come to life. This is going to do so much damage to our industry. But I'm here from the future to tell you it gets better.
Let's give them every like possible chance. Let's go through every single little statement. They do have these statements here in their Twitter saying statement from Flappy Bird Foundation regarding the return of Flappy Bird. The Flappy Bird Foundation would like to provide a direct response to the current question regarding its recent announcement of the return of Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird trademark registration. The Flappy Bird Foundation is a team of passionate fans of the Flappy Bird game published in 2013. After the game was pulled from the stores in 2014, like many others, we found ourselves unable to stop thinking about the game. The Flappy Bird trademark and brand was abandoned following the game's takedown. Wanting to revive the game, we filed an application for the trademark and set out to bring the Flappy Bird game back to the community. The fine print in 2018, the United States Patent and Trademark Office granted mobile media partners the Flappy Bird trademark registration, which was then acquired by Game Tech Holdings LLC in 2021, who we then acquired the trademark from in August 2024. And then it just goes into a bunch of like I love that through the Flappy Bird Foundation we're able to breathe the new life into the games I build inspire, and if you're able to work alongside dedicated. So it looks like it's just like a group of fans from the community that acquired the trademark and are doing a fan-made product basically, but the original developer has nothing to do with this.
So the original developer has nothing to do with it. They did a bunch of weird like copyright style infringements. Like, bro, even if you're trying to do a grift, like they could have easily just bought a Pudgy Penguin and like brought in the Pudgy Penguin community with the Pain character. So they're not super Web3 native because they would have thought of that shit.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. We'll see, but
thoughts?
I'm very pessimistic.
Yeah,
my
this is
honest
not
thoughts is that this was made as a cash grab. That's all it is. It's not a passion project. It's not even the original people. It's a cash grab.
Yeah, man, it's all playing to the new hype, right? Like we knew that Telegram games were like kind of like the talk in town now and for a little bit, right? Like everybody's trying to do it, and Flappy Bird, to be fair, is the perfect game for a Telegram game, So I don't know. My advice is stay away from it. Be cautious. Definitely do not buy into it. Do not put any money into that. And just be careful out there, man. That's looking really, really sus.
Oh, it's gonna be another story. I put all my money in Flappy Bird, and my birds are gone.
All my money went down those pipes that I'm fucking flying through, bro. It's not good.
Yeah, maybe they surprise us and we're wrong, but right now it's not looking optimistic. It's looking like a rug.
In the words of Jackie, it's gonna rug.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think so too. All right, well, listen, in some more bullish news, Ronin announces that they're bringing 7 new games into their ecosystem. All right, I'm gonna go through the list of games that they added, and then I wanted to pull up Missy's thread that he pulled a couple of days ago, because I think you did a great job at like offering like a little summary and breakdown of those things, and then maybe you can like touch on it and like give your opinions on this type of move and announcing this many titles at the same time, right? Because I don't think we've seen another ecosystem in the space announce this many game titles coming out all at once.
I gotta say the trailer was awesome.
The trailer for the announcement or what?
Yeah, there was like a trailer that was super memey, and it was not like the cringe memey. Like it was actually like gamers would.
Oh, the anime trailer.
Do you know who posted that trailer? Can we pull that up?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
send to me. Let me go through the list of games while you're doing that.
Sersky would like
so
it.
They announced. Why did it look like an A and B type of?
Well, it had like Neon Genesis with some AI voices and stuff.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
I actually just put it in the chat, Clouds. You can.
All right,
peep it there.
let's actually just watch that then, since I'm sure we'll announce all the games that they release. Let's see.
Yeah, it was actually made by a gaming community called Kind.
Oh, cool.
So it wasn't even from Ronin. It was just like that's how excited the community was. They decided.
Wait,
to, like,
did they put a picture of Jiho like wearing that kimono?
Well, he took a picture.
I know he
of
took
it.
a picture of that,
Yeah.
but I didn't think that we include that in the trailer. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, so the community made it. This is not from Ronin, but
Yeah.
they're obviously excited. And to me, like the best form of marketing is your community pull it up. You know,
That's really funny, dude. All right, so here's all the games that are coming into the ecosystem. We got Pixel Heroes, Party Icon, Infomon, Last Odyssey, a Stream Burst, which I hear is a shooter, a mobile shooter that a lot of people have been talking about.
Yep.
So maybe we definitely need to check that one out. Cambria and Kuroro, Wild Call of the Islands, I think is what it says there.
Yep.
Yep.
Commander, Jiho's just suited up in samurai gear.
No way. Check Twitter.
I've got some.
That's actually really
7
funny, dude.
games. Commander, they've got a battle royale shooter with Blizzard. Get the retweets ready.
You're showing off the new MMO that's giving RuneScape vibes. Hey, where you take care of cute little creatures.
I want to eat those creatures.
And here's another battle royale.
I want to eat those creatures. Yo, like what?
Oh, Party Icon.
Downloaded one of the games.
Oh, I got an OP character.
Look, this one into Twitter.
Bruh.
I want to catch them all.
Commander, you've got a lot to catch already.
My husband doesn't want to leave me for this.
My husband's gonna leave me for this.
I loved every second of it, dude. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
that
how
was-
you do it.
That's actually
That was
really
fucking
funny.
awesome.
Shout outs to Kind that they actually did a great job with that. That's a great content piece. Oh, it's actually by this person right here, CEO Axie. So shout outs to you, man. You did a great job with that.
Yeah, there's
Killed
some gems in that community for sure. There's a lot of like gamer centric people that stem from Axie.
That's why like I don't like to trash on the community. I like to trash on how I don't personally enjoy Axie, but you can't say that the Axie community or the Ronin community doesn't have gamers or doesn't
Oh
have
no,
culture.
they for sure have
Like,
gamers, and they have great content creators too.
Yeah.
But I just don't like their games, you know.
Yeah.
But at least
But,
though,
I mean,
Axie,
the
like, it's
previous
like,
ones, yeah.
yeah.
Like I like TMA
I like
a lot.
TMA.
TMA 's
Yeah, I was
fun.
gonna say TMA's fun.
Appearing, I enjoy. I know it's not everyone's flavor, but I like the fact that it's a unique concept. Like I've never played a game like Appearing before. I think those are like the two unique games. And Lumenterra, I tried. It wasn't my favorite cup of tea kind of thing, but I like the fact that Lumenterra had its own art style. It had its own vibe. It's still not my favorite MMO experience, but it has a hardcore community around it. Runiverse, same thing. Runiverse was like the #1 pixelated MMO until Raven Quest came out, and then Raven Quest completely kind of took that.
I'm honestly excited for this new like pool of games that they're bringing, because I'm excited
Yep.
to try Party Icons and that new shooter that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah,
to
like-
see what Play Cambria does versus Raven Quest. And like how those two games kind of like push the space forward in the new like pixelated MMO format, right? Like I'm excited to
Yep.
see those comparison like come into the space.
Yeah, like Party Icons, we played that before. I enjoyed it. It was really early, so it didn't have enough content for me to really and I would say fully enjoy it. But I played it before the Battle Royale was even out. So I know right now they've added the Battle Royale. It has like a God mode thing that they've been pushing. Like this looks way more developed than the game that we played,
This
like
is
just
chaotic,
a few months
dude.
ago. Yeah.
It looks like Overwatch a little bit.
So I'm down to try this. I think the Ronin community got if you're a Ronin fan, you caught massive W's during this whole experience.
Yeah.
You finally got 2 shooters. Ronin community's been begging for shooters. They finally got them. They're third-person shooters, but shooters are shooters at the end of the day. for people to play. Party Icons is cool. Then the next game on the list is Cambria. Cambria is actually like a cult community classic that's kind of been going on in Web3. It came out around the same time as Pixels, but it was like a lot of it was PvP based.
Are they
We host
Makey?
we host tournaments for this game.
I don't know what it is with Ronin and getting
Paladins all the
naked
time.
characters.
Yeah, Ronin loves nudity apparently.
Yeah, like I don't know what that's about.
So I've tried Cambria a couple of times early on. Joe from Metasports is actually the one that put me onto it when they were first like launching on Blast. They have a very hardcore community that I know is going to do well with Ronin, and I think the Ronin community is really going to embrace that. They have a really vibrant PvP scene, and like it's very like crypto native PvP gaming as far as like people wager a lot, people do a lot of like that kind of almost like degen culture, but gamer focused. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And I know they're developing an MMO called Gold Rush, so looking forward to what that looks like.
IP does a lot, bro, because like just looking at this, right? Like I personally do not enjoy seeing my character like a little person like this, and like barely seeing any of the details. That's kind of like why I enjoy like Raven Quest a little bit, because it's slightly like bigger and you can see more details in the characters and everything around it, But
yeah. And then going on to the next game from the thread that I wrote, Last Odyssey. That was the one where I was personally like, I'm not into like simulated strategy games. I'm not really into strategy games, period. Like, I'm one of the few Koreans on planet Earth that didn't even enjoy StarCraft, and I get roasted on that shit all the fucking time. So strategy games aren't always my thing, but I know there's a crowd for this. Ronin doesn't have a title like this, so W for anyone that likes strategy games on Ronin, Then next we have Kororo Beasts. That Kororo Beast is really interesting because it has like a hardcore community.
Thinking about it, we're ramping up the game content. It would be crazy to miss out. So follow Wild's page to stay up to date on everything. Every week we'll have sneak peeks, gameplay deep dives at the mechanics and features of the game, character reveals, meet the important characters that will shape the story. Beast Showcase, see the amazing creatures in action.
It's like Pokemon almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like Pokemon.
Well, Kororo Beast, that's actually the first Web3 tournament I ever participated in, like over a year ago, with their Beast Brawler, and that feels just like Pokemon PvP. What they've done is they've like recreated Pokemon through like several different mini games. So this one. This one is Wilds. That's like basically the RPG side of Pokemon. Beast Brawl is more of like just the PvP side of Pokemon. And then I know they have Kororo Ranch, which is like a free-to-play Telegram game. I've never tried the Telegram game, but it has built like a certain level of fandom. People enjoy it. Kororo Beast is like really to themselves, and I think that's how you should build in Web3. Like find your fans and then just cater to them. They're doing a great job of that. Yep.
Like, is it available? Like, is it open?
Yeah. I don't know if Wilds is open, but I know I've played Beast Brawl in the past.
I can see like my wife enjoying something like this. This is really cool. I may put her on that into that. Like, I can see.
Yeah.
I can see us doing this
Is that gonna go on the Solana console, the Game Boy thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Ronin, and Ronin hates Solana, so I doubt it.
They're gonna make their own.
Geo's was firing shots at Solana like 2 days ago.
That shit looks
while I'm wearing my Solana shirt. It's all good. You can shoot your shots, bro.
Yeah, that shit looks like shit.
So the next one is Infomon. Infomon was interesting, bro, because it's like another Pokemon inspired product, but it's like executed completely different. It's actually a Twitter X game, whatever you want to call it.
A little bit too close to a Pokemon product, bro. Dr. X.
Yeah,
come on, man.
In many ways, it almost feels like a direct clone, but it's built for you to basically like collect your monsters on X. The UI is like an X like extension that you can play while you're on the app. So it's a different way to experience it. I like that side of it. I don't like how direct of a fucking clone it feels like though. Like
I'm
the
sorry,
Pepe,
dude. The Pepe one.
Pepe
That's what
Mon.
got me off guard, bro. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right.
I like the Pokedex and like social twist on it, but it's like really awkwardly close to Pokemon.
It is. It's really, really close.
Yeah.
The fighting mechanics look kind of cool, though. I mean, at least they have that. All right, cool. Next one up is Stream Burst.
Yeah, that's this is like it reminds me of like early Society. It's a third-person shooter battle royale. Not like Web3 gaming needs any more of those, but they've been around for a while. They've been building. It has anime vibes, so I know the Ronin community is gonna fuck with that. Mobile shooter, this and party icons, I think, are gonna have a huge spike in players that have been waiting for some sort of Ronin-based shooter. So
wait, could you go into first person? You can.
It seems like it, yeah.
Oh, this is like Farlight.
Yep.
Interesting.
So,
do you know if they're coming to PC as well, or is this just strictly mobile?
So far, all I've ever heard is mobile. But I don't know how much the Ronin community might influence them to want to create a PC version if the demand is there for it.
Hey, we got BlueStacks, right? We can just BlueStack this shit.
Yeah, BlueStacks is never the greatest.
BlueStack is a horrible experience, bro.
Yeah. Then the next one is Pixel Heroes MMO. This one was kind of interesting because they already have like Pixels, Rooniverse, Cambria, then Pixel Heroes. Like the gameplay is completely different. It feels almost like an old school arcade game. You're like shooting people up, and
this is like
it's like a hybrid,
Galactica or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever that game is to be called. Yeah.
And then cool, Jackie in the comments had to troll you because she knows how much you love pixel related things.
They're my favorite.
So,
they're my favorite.
What I will do with Pixel Heroes is I don't know nearly enough about it to have like a formulated opinion. It does look like they have a lot of similar games with this pixel vibe that's kind of like borderlining on MMO already. So I don't know if it's going to over dilute. But I would like to try the game and be able to create my own opinion on it. I do know Inhuman, shout out to Inhuman, has a #1 faction in this game. So I know he's been sweating it out for a minute. Yeah.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah, that's the 7.
Yeah, man, I think it's a power move by Ronin to announce that many game titles coming into play, and I think it's dope that they're adding that much more content into their ecosystem, like Ronin community has been one of the strongest community that we've seen in Web3 for a while now. So it's really cool to see them receive more products that they can continue growing with. I'm excited to try some of them. I'm definitely excited for party icons, and I'm definitely going to be looking to play Stream Burst just to try it out. I would like to see a PC build because I'm not really much of a mobile player, but nonetheless, it's really cool to see the space moving forward and just like adding more into their ecosystems and stuff like that. So really cool stuff.
Dude. What I like about Ronin is, and this is what I'm always telling people, like when I advise games, know who you are, right? Ronin knows exactly who they are. They know exactly who their gamers are, what their IP is. And even when you think of a Ronin, it's a lone samurai. They beat to the heart of their own drum. It's a samurai with no master. So it's like, in my mind, when they're doing this announcement, I picture like a lone samurai sharpening his blade and then going in for the attack. So they even do their marketing that way, which is cool. It like feels like a part of the actual culture of what a Ronin is supposed to be like. They're supposed to be quiet, calm, collected, strategic, and then come out, like with just fucking in a blaze of glory, just like cutting people up, slicing them up, Samurai Jack style. So it's like that's how they approach their marketing. That's how they take those philosophies, you could tell just on the delivery, like, and actually integrate them into how they create experiences around the ecosystem. And to me, shit like that is fucking cool, man. Like, I love it.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. That's really true. Do you guys see that iShowspeed like broke I think it was like the world record of like concurrent viewers? He like literally became the #1 English streamer in the world by having like 1 million.
No, I did not see that.
What was
He's
it?
literally
1 million
Michael
concurrent
Jackson.
viewers, I think is what it was. You say he was
Holy
what?
shit.
He was literally who?
He's literally Michael Jackson at this point.
Dude, but it's crazy because literally like last week we were talking about him being like basically the most influential streamer, if not content creator, that's out there right now. And then
Yeah.
literally this week he goes and beat the world record by becoming like the #1 streamer.
Yeah, now that that's happened, I have to retract my statement. Doing a little bit of backtracking here, and I have to concede the argument in your favor because the one thing that I will say that I thought about this week, XQC has probably the same amount of like net worth in terms of capital, and he sits in his room all day. This guy is going across the world and doing this shit. So like you can definitely say and tell that he is making an influence and an impact because he's going to all these different countries, and not only is the audience getting to see these countries for the first time, but all these people that flock from one region to the other are fans of him.
Yeah.
So it is very influential. And I guess live streaming does kind of like trump recorded content in the sense that since it is live, like whatever's happening on screen to a certain degree is not scripted. This is like true authentic experiences that he's having. Now he does have like a lot of setup around these streams.
Yeah. Like kids and stuff. Yeah.
But like when you interact with the common people, like, there's definitely what do you call it? Like an aura.
I think as a streamer, you're always going to be more connected to your audience than you will as an audience that you have from like recorded content, right? Like if you fill an audience through streaming, for example, right? Like you're always going to be connected to those fans more than the fandom you build of people watching your recorded content. You get me? Because it's like it becomes almost like a community, right? Like it becomes almost like a vibe within your community. Like certain things you say that your community is gonna react to, or they know what you mean, when you say these things and stuff like that, right? Like to me, like iShowspeed is just like he's become to the level of like Cristiano Ronaldo or like McGregor, right? Or like all these people that when they show up, no matter what country they're in, no matter where they are, they're gonna have a crowd of people around them, right? And they're gonna be like making some type of like influence. Like right now, like he's in Asia, right? And he hit 1 million like viewers in Asia, and look at the crowd he has in the middle of the street, right? Like it's almost like an event, and he's not even like around his like social, like immediate social group. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, dude. That to me is like very, very influential.
Yo, shout out Erica.
Yo, what's up, Erica?
Yo, what's up, Erica? Hope you're having a great Sunday. We're watching iShowspeed hit 1 million viewers on stream.
Yeah, like that's what I said last episode. The Sue is no longer Ronaldo's; it's his. Like he's everyone around him says.
I will say, bro. I will say his bodyguard looks like he has like the worst fucking job in the history. This guy must be so stressed out, dude.
Think
He's
about
like,
it, like
at any moment anybody can come and stab this little kid, bro. And I'm over here like trying to like stop like 30 million people before.
Dude, everywhere they go, there's a constant crowd around him. He's got to push them out of the way. Like that dude, dude deserves a raise for sure.
Look at the level of stress in his eyes, bro. Like this man is like, what? Like he looks like a deer in headlights, bro. Like look at him.
I mean, how many countries have they shut down? How many governments have they had to like bring out, or governments, police forces had to bring out to escort them around? Because like they're literally shutting down nations.
Yeah,
just with like one stream. That's how crazy it's getting.
It is,
and
man.
He's not doing anything like he's not doing anything nefarious or anything. He's just going live, and like everyone is just a huge fan of him. Like it is a very interesting situation. I will say that.
Yeah,
it's anyone that sees this and isn't inspired in some way. Like I don't know how. That's crazy. The fact that we live in a generation where someone can create a movement like this from their bedroom, like,
yeah,
obviously he's going worldwide now, but it was all born from him streaming out of his room, man. That's what makes Speed so relatable. It wasn't like he was the most cracked gamer. He was just kicking it in his room and having a great time with his community.
In his mom's house, like living in his mom's house, in his bedroom, like just like making bark noises and like being extremely loud. You get me? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Like I feel like everyone that's a Speed fan genuinely feels like he's their friend or something, you know, and that's special. That's a special bond with the community.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, 100%,
So
bro. And
flowers
that's
to
what I
that
think.
man.
I think that's why I think he's also more. That's where I think he's more a little bit more influential than Kai Cenat, you know, because
Yeah,
I feel like he's a little bit more relatable, you know.
yeah. I think Kai Cenat's a little, and I think Kai Cenat's awesome personally. Like if I had to
Yeah,
choose between which one I like more, I like Kai better. But you can't deny Speed's influence. You can't deny his community. You can't deny his success. I think Kai Cenat, and a lot of people, is like almost a little too cool sometimes. Like there's something about Speed that's like shamelessly nerdy and shamelessly relatable that like Kai does not have because he's like a little too cool.
yeah,
Personally,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think Kai is constantly doing so many like massive shit. You get me? That it's to a
yeah,
level that's almost unreachable. That
yep,
he's almost like his fans almost sees him as like you're like the star. You know, you're like the 1% type of
yep,
thing. You get me? Where
yep.
iShowspeed often does like things that are very relatable to like the everyday person. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
think about what Kai's brought on. Yeah, freaking
yeah, Kevin
Drewski,
Hart.
Kevin Hart, Nicki
Right.
Minaj,
Yeah. And granted,
Blueface.
he was always known for that, you know.
Yeah,
Not that before he was bringing people to that level, but he was always bringing people that were either like popular in some type of industry or some shit, you know, like
yeah,
whether it was like yeah,
he's pretty much the Black Mizkif with like way more style and way more fans, way more swagger, everything. Like Mizkif was doing the same thing too. He was bringing a lot of people. Like he brought on Baby No Money, Young Gravy. He was bringing on like Jessica Negri. You know, he was bringing a lot of people in his thing too. But like, I think Kai's network is a little deeper than that, and obviously he has way
Yeah,
more.
and he just knows how to reach into like the current zeitgeist, right? Like he brought Ice Spice at her peak of hype in
yeah,
the
Oh
current.
yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah, true.
Like so, Kai knows how to when to execute it, which is really important. It's not
He
just
even brought
about
on
like
Speed.
yeah, it's like
Kai kind of like took over like the fall of Adam 22 with no jumper,
mhm,
and like
mhm,
he kind of like he was at the right place at the right time when that because like Adam 22 was known for bringing like the people that were like up and coming right into no
yep,
jumper and like kind of giving them a platform to like really go viral. But then obviously Adam 22 being the weirdo that he is, you know, got caught with all the weird shit and he kind of like started going down trend a little bit with no jumper and shit like that. And I feel like that's when Kai Cenat really like exploded with his guests and stuff like that, you know, like giving the opportunity to like yo, come on my shit, you know, and like do this with me instead, you know? Because I feel like a lot of like, especially a lot of rappers, like, you know, like people like not Lil Pump, but what's the other one? Like Trippy Red and shit like that, right?
yeah, yeah,
They were going to like those type of shows, right? Like they were going to like No Jumper and shit like that. And like then they started going to like Kai Cenat stream and shit like that, you know, like Aiden Ross stream, that type of shit. So yeah, man. Crazy, the world of content is. I was gonna say, I don't know if there's anything else that we have to talk about on today's episode, but it's been a crazy week of gaming, bro. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm probably gonna be playing Raven Quest right after the show, but I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or anything else that's interesting that happened this week that I forgot to mention?
I mean
um,
the oh
no, no, go ahead,
It sounds like we have a few things.
I mean, I thought it very interesting that Usher and Pink deleted all their tweets.
Oh shit!
Yeah, there's a Diddy stuff. There's
I
Diddy stuff.
forgot about that. Yeah, like yeah, man. Shit, weird shit happening in Hollywood. A lot of people are gonna get exposed. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a story that came out today. Don't know how credible it is that Diddy slept or had relations with Kamala Harris. If that is true,
that's
that is
crazy,
true, that's
man.
gonna be very, very interesting how that's gonna
With
play into
Kamala
November.
Harris, with the Obamas, with like fucking
Yeah.
everyone. Bro. This guy was
If
getting
that
into
stuff
everyone.
isn't true, that's crazy.
Yo,
Um,
Judge Joe Brown. What was his name? Judge Joe Brown. He was
yeah,
also like Kamala's a hoe. I know because I did her. You know?
oh man, like what I will say about that is I actually had a friend call me yesterday, and a fashion friend, and there was a time when I was in LA that I was actually getting invited to Diddy parties, and he was like, "Bro, we dodged a bullet, homie." And I was like, "Yo, you're right, though." And he was making fun of me because I have a big butt for a guy, and he was like, my boy would have taken 2 looks at those cheeks, and he would have been
What
fucked.
the fuck, bro?
Yeah, like he was trolling the shit out of me.
No, bro. No.
I beg your pardon.
Back in my fashion days, I had one of the girls that was the stylist that I worked with, and she used to come in and design like sets for us. She actually worked for Cassie and Diddy, and she would always invite us to the events. And for whatever reason, I could never make it. Like, it wasn't like I didn't want to. Diddy's a New York native. I didn't find it suspect at the time. I'm not gonna act like I had foresight. I had one person say that like it was like a tradition to do like a line with him at a party or something, but I don't know if that's true. I never went. But what I will say is my homie called me and he was like, "Bro, we dodged a fucking bullet." I was like, "God damn right we did, bro." Like, this shit.
Is this why Kanye made that song, "Please Baby No More Parties in LA"? Is that what it's about?
I could probably see that being a reason as to why, yes. Like, I got plenty of stories about LA and as to why the fuck I moved out of there. That place is weird as hell. But and you definitely didn't want to stay late at any LA parties. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But
I just think a lot of things are gonna come out, bro.
You were looking at your watch and you were giving yourself 45. If you didn't get your business done in 45, get the fuck out. You got no business. So I mean, yeah, it hit a little close to home. I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, you're right. As far as the whole Diddy situation, that is fucking crazy. We're gonna see all sorts of shit come out that we're gonna be covering on the pod, I'm sure. As far as the 1,000 baby oil, like, what the fuck is that, man? Like, I think they found, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said they found like 500 dildos at his crib or some shit. I was like,
it's just the most disturbing thing I've seen. The most disturbing thing I've seen was the audio clip from his bodyguard of him and supposedly making up.
Yeah,
that shit. I had to take that shit off because I was like, bro, that shit is actually disturbing. I don't even want to hear this shit,
So I have a couple things. They gave him the city key to Miami, and Diddy owned Miami. So a lot of things happen in LA and Miami, Mizzy. So like this dude
I don't
has been
spend time
operating.
in Miami. I wouldn't.
Bro, listen, Diddy is. He's the biggest in New York, so I don't doubt that this shit. He has multiple places where he's done some freaky shit, But
yeah,
I think the craziest. I've seen so many things already, dude. Like, I saw one earlier today saying like the reason Ben Affleck left J-Lo was because her involvement with like sex trafficking minors and Diddy parties, and stuff like that. So like I said, bro, when someone this famous, and again, when you like Diddy is not like a small caliber like type of like famous person. This guy, like I said, he's like in the top richest people in New York. You get me? Like, this is a very powerful individual when it comes to like the industry that he's involved with. You get me? So a lot of things are about to be disclosed to try to save his behind from like being in prison for life. And if that's if he makes it, because they put him on suicide watch. And it was like Epstein, when Epstein got caught, it was like 48 hours after being suicide watch that he like committed suicide supposedly.
The rabbit hole hole goes deep, my friends. There's a lot of things that I've seen tying to like so many different industries, and people are saying that this is gonna bring the music industry to a halt. People are saying that movie industries related as well. There's a lot of like conspiracy tinfoil hat people that are connecting a lot of things together. So I think this rabbit hole is just getting started. I don't think,
bro, it wouldn't even surprise me when somebody of this caliber gets caught. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody of the somebody else that's of the same caliber hires someone to take him out of the picture.
Oh,
you get what I'm saying? Like, when you're in prison, bro, there's a lot of things that can happen that go wrong. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And to keep your mouth shut, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody with power just like kind of like decided to pull the plug, and be like, yo, take this person out.
So Cat Williams was on a podcast with Shannon Sharp. Yeah, and he was like telling me he had to deny like $50 million requests.
Oh yeah. I saw that podcast. Yeah, where he like exposed everyone in Hollywood. Yeah,
because he was saying like if you went to a Diddy party, Diddy would have something on you, and like he would have you from that point on. Like you couldn't say whatever. A lot of people are hypothesizing that a lot of these people that are coming out in support of Kamala is because of Diddy, right? There's so many things that like we don't know right now. It's a lot of speculative stuff, but this, because I thought it was a distraction after like Trump got shot at again. But there's the rabbit hole goes deep. There's pictures of LeBron wearing like a maid outfit. There's
yeah, man. Like,
there's
listen, this couldn't have happened at the worst time either, because obviously happening near the election, everything is gonna be relatable to the politics sides, right? Like they're gonna take this Diddy thing and it's gonna be all about Kamala or all about Trump and blah 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 blah, right? Because it's the stage that we are right now in the world, right? Like it's election season, so obviously everything's gonna be relatable to politician, but this is much bigger than that, bro. This shit has been going on for like decades and decades and decades, probably, of like the industry, you know, of like not only the music industry, but just like the entertainment industry overall.
Yeah,
and
man.
Like the level of like corruption and like fucking crazy cold rituals and like shit like that this elite are following, you know, like
I just gotta say, the level of gaslighting that we have felt in this country, it's like like when a tea kettle is too hot and it starts pouring out steam. That's where we're at right now, where it's been boiling for like you're saying, for decades, and now the tea kettle is just like the high pitch frequency it makes. It's like you got to take it off now and then pour it out.
Yo,
that's what's going on.
Happy Sunday, Siege. Thank you for pulling through, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Shout out, Siege.
Good luck this Sunday or whenever you guys play. We're gonna play in like an hour.
Oh yeah,
Jackie, you love conspiracy theories.
This is football.
Football. Gotcha.
These are not conspiracy theories anymore, man. Like a lot of shit is coming to light. Like when I left LA and stopped working in that scene, I used to tell people like a lot of it just didn't sit right with like my being, you know, like my soul. Like there was something about the scene that I was being exposed to that I was not a fan of, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah, Mizzy, you tripping?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, there's some weird shit that goes down." Like I'm telling you from firsthand experience. You're either willing to go down the rabbit hole or you get the fuck out. I got the fuck out, man. Like I wasn't about that shit. And you know, seeing things slowly started to come to light. Like, am I personally surprised? Nah. Am I surprised to the extent of the debauchery? Yes. Like, goddamn. But
I think the industries, like those type of industries, go through stages, right? Like we saw it with Epstein, right? Like it hits like like how to saying, like the kettle is like boiling, it's reaching that boiling point, right? It's going to explode. Some people are definitely going to get exposed through this Diddy stuff, right? It may not be the biggest people that we may be thinking about, but some people are definitely gonna get fucked through this. You get me? And it's gonna be big people, but eventually they're gonna take care of Diddy before it reaches a level of exposure of everybody, and it's gonna start to die down again, you know, and like people are gonna start to forget until the next fucking weirdo in Hollywood gets caught with some crazy shit and it blows up again. You get me? Like that's usually how these things go. Like I see this whole like it happened with Suge Knight, right? Like if you guys remember when Suge Knight went to prison, right? Like so many shit came about, like the death of Tupac and the death of Biggie and who was involved. And trust me, Diddy's name came up in many interviews. You get me? But like again, Suge Knight was in prison for how long before like they gave him his sentencing, right? Like he was exposing people from like for like 5 years, bro.
And then he like hired Ray J to take over Death Row and shit. Like such a weird turn of events. But one other thing is the outside of the Diddy stuff, you know, we did find out like Squid Game 2 trailer came out. I don't know if you guys want to look at that real quick or if we're gonna wrap it up.
I did not know that. Yeah, no, I did not know that. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah, let me tag you. I'll tag you in it.
Oh, we already have a link? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
I was gonna look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, search
Epstein all over again. True.
Yeah,
it's definitely Jeffrey Epstein all over again for sure.
He has an island too, just like Epstein. It's called Love Island.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Diddy's a weird ass person, bro. You guys used to remember that show he used to have on MTV where he would like discover like female pop groups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He discovered
he discovered Danity Kane. Danity
No,
Kane.
what was the other group that he discovered too? That's still
the one with
to this
Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah, but there was another one too before that.
Justin Bieber. Oh
no, shit. I gotta look it up, but yeah.
Yeah, we got two more things actually. We got Power World. I want to make fun of that, so let's go over that.
Hold on, let me pull up this Squid Game 2 trailer real quick. I don't know, bro. Power World is a game that to me died up on arrival. Like that game barely had. Like,
I want to make fun of it because how many people in Web3 glaze that shit.
Yeah,
personally, that's why I want to make fun of it.
But hey,
the furry game.
Let's watch this. Yeah, Ramen's favorite game. Let's watch this trailer real quick.
게임 준비가 완료됐습니다.
I mean, that's cool.
I don't know. It didn't do much for me, if I'm being honest.
Like, I don't really care about Squid Game. Like, I didn't really care about the first one. So seeing the second one, it's like, yeah, I watched like a little bit of it. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't get into it. I was like, eh.
I gotta be honest, I binged it from start to finish. There are a lot of characters that I liked. There are a lot of characters I didn't like. And the writing was so obvious that, like, well, can we talk about season 1? Because it's been a long time, right?
If you haven't watched it by now, spoiler alert, get the fuck out. But
wait, hold on. Before we go into this, let's look at the comment section real quick because it's actually pretty funny.
Absolute ass.
Absolute cinema. Absolute
See, so the reason why I want to bring up like the plot twist at the end, it was so good, but it was kind of predictable that we just should have ended it there. And the problem with these shows that I have on Netflix is when they have a good showing of it, they're like, okay, it was so good, we want to keep making more seasons so we can milk the fuck out of it. And that's the problem with Stranger Things. Where Stranger Things has like 1 or 2 solid seasons, and then the rest of the seasons start to get like they start to drag out, and it's like all these things that the people like have questions about. Oh, we got to answer it, but instead of answering it, we have to create a whole new season with X amount of episodes, and then no one cares about it after a while because we're kind of tired of the formula. And it's like you got to take examples like Fully Cooley anime. It's 6 episodes long. Did they make another episodic run of Fully Cooley? Sure. But the 6th episode run of Fully Cooley, the reason why it was so impactful is because it was 6 episodes. It was done. That was it. There was more mystery to solve, but it was so impactful in my opinion because it did a story arc, and that was it. Dragon Ball Z, same thing. Dragon Ball Z was great until a certain point where they did too much, molding of different Super Saiyan 3. Well, now Gotenks is a Super Saiyan 3. They made a huge big deal about Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Well, now a little child can do it. Like, now that whole thing has just been thrown away, right? When these things get prolonged, people stop giving a shit about it because you're just trying to milk the product that is the cash cow, right? Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the problem I have with these shows. I don't even think there should be a season 2 for this show. I thought they should have just ended it.
If you want to experience what Haru's talking about firsthand, just watch Lost. All right, and by season A, I guarantee you're gonna start feeling like this. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, Haru. I think like certain shows definitely have a history of like milking like seasons just to like the purpose of like producing more content, and then it start affecting like the story behind the show, and like the storyline behind the show. So like the timeline. So. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't really care too much about Squid Game. Like I said, I am excited for like The Bear to come out with season 4, for example. That's a great show, and I think they're doing a great job at like producing the seasons the way they are. Like really short episodes, and it's only like 13 episodes or something like that in a season. So I've been enjoying that show a lot. So, what were you gonna say, Missy?
Maybe keep the team together and do a new show. But not everything needs to be longer Like, just tell the story and leave it at that. You know.
I just think Squid Game could have been a better movie than a show. Like they should have just done like a movie and that's it, not like a show. You know,
Yeah.
like I agree with Haru. I don't think we need to see a second season of people killing, like trying to survive by completing stupid ass challenges. You get me, to win money. Like I think it should have been like a movie. I think that would have been a great concept. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, movie, like the movie idea to like finish off an untold story.
Yeah.
Way better because it's like
a sequel. Like, oh, like now we're gonna try to find out who came up with the Squid Game and why they're doing this. You know.
Exactly.
Like,
you could do like a prequel or an epilogue,
like the survival
whatever.
of Squid Game, trying to like kill the creator of Squid Game. You know, shit like that, like a John Wick kind of storyline.
Exactly. And that's gonna take
like
like 2 hours or so. It's not contained to like, because these episodes are fucking long, right? So you have all this context you have to throw in there, and then all this fucking flashback, and like how did the old man start to be the old man that he was, and all this shit. It's like nobody cares.
I mean, these are Netflix produced products, right? So like Netflix is known for like keeping products alive based off their popularity and how the consumer is like receiving that product, right? So if it's like people are demanding it, people are like really liking it, right? Like people are rewatching it, they continue to keep that product alive, and keep it like as a part of like their playlist of shows that they have inside Netflix. So that's that.
I feel like the show meta is gonna die because they're so fucking time consuming, man. Like, who wants to? I don't watch that many shows because I don't have 8 hours to dedicate to something. Like, and then you
I
have
like shows that I can binge watch.
Shows. Yeah.
And that is one thing that I enjoy about Netflix shows. Is that you get the whole season all at once.
Yeah, you do get the whole season at once.
Yep. Yeah, so you can binge watch.
Yeah, but I hope the Squid Game community is happy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, bro,
based on that comment section, they're getting roasted.
Yeah, it's gonna be us. All right, let's move on to Power World, man, because this is another one that I don't know why people are surprised, because I'm pretty sure we said it from the very beginning that when Power World came out that it was gonna be an exclusive from Nintendo and Pokemon. And
we mentioned it on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why people think like they can just finesse Nintendo when Nintendo is known. They're like literally the company that's known for like the most suits against their IP like infringement. You get me? So I don't see people are surprised about this, but hey.
I mean, can you really make the claim that this is Pokemon though? Like,
it's very close, bro.
Stylistically,
I thought this comment by fan was pretty funny though. Power World, we're inspired by Pokemon. I sue you, Power World.
But see, there I am. Look, like I'm right there. Look at me. Wow.
Cool. Yeah, there's you. This reminded me of Power World. We better download it before it gets removed. I mean, yeah, bro. Power World is whatever. It's in my Steam library, just sitting there.
Listen, Linda. Listen. The reason why I don't have any support for Nintendo here. Two things. First of all, I don't necessarily believe this is infringement just because, okay, maybe they have a patent for the design of the characters. That could be one thing, right? But to have to be devil's advocate here, what if they said we were inspired by Digimon, right? In character design, and then we slapped guns on them. So like that's a very gray area, and that's one take I have. Another take I have is instead of Nintendo being forthcoming and positive, where it's like we don't like what you did with the IP itself, but we have interest in taking in you as a developer base. Let's say we want to bring you in to develop something in Game Freak or whatever. Instead of doing that, all they do is shut shit down. For instance, there was a game called Pokemon MMO. Everyone's always wanted this. They've always dreamed about a Pokemon MMO. And someone made it. And it was hella illegal, right? And they shut that shit down. Instead of saying, hey, don't do that, but come into my office. Maybe if you have a compelling idea, we'll run with it and we'll hire you guys or whatever. Instead of doing that, they just shut it down. And then that's just it. People are like, all right, well, let's go to the next thing. So in my opinion, I think Nintendo has always hated their own fans. It's really weird to me. Like they do a lot of things that are great, and then they take 2 steps backwards when they take 1 step forward always. And so I just don't understand why they wouldn't take an opportunity and advantage of the opportunity to see that there's a company that made
because
money.
Their target market's kids.
Yeah, but okay. I can understand that.
I don't know, man. Some of these designs are pretty close to like Pokemon.
but fuck that shit. Listen.
Look at these. Look at this. Look at.
No, that's fine. I get it. It does look similar. But what I'm saying is, Pokemon we grew up with since the 80s and 90s. You're talking about it was made for kids. The kids that play the games in the 80s or 90s are now 30 and 20 and 40 in some cases. So you can't tell me that it's just for kids because the kids grew up with that shit. If they want to keep playing the game, they want to see some kind of evolution. That's why I'm birds out on Pokemon in general. Because I played it as a kid. Am I going to really play it again as an adult? Now I know the target demographic is for kids, but you have a lot of adults still playing it, and some of those adults want to see the envelope
Smash,
evolve.
But you play Smash,
so
it's still Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like they take you on a journey inside of their company, basically. Like you start here, you end here. Like that's the purpose.
Well, some people start in Smash and never touch Pokemon.
Exactly.
I'll make the argument it's probably the other way around. People will play Smash and then play the franchises. I've seen people that discovered Fire Emblem through Smash Bros. They didn't know what the fuck it was.
I'm not saying that that's wrong. All I'm saying is I can understand why Pokemon or Nintendo did this, right? I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm saying I can understand their perspective. Imagine you created this product that is meant to cater to children, and somebody defiles that by making it into a shooter. They're running around now with guns, shooting each other. I'm not saying I don't think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. But I'm just saying from their perspective, right? Like you defy, look at how they massacred my boy. Like you push guns in their hands. Now you have furries making fucking like weird perverted content. Like Pokemon wasn't meant for that shit.
I mean, look, as Cloud is shuffling through this,
I'm sorry, man. Some of these designs are way too close. Like you cannot tell me this is not IP infringement when some of these designs are almost like copy pasted, like clearly.
But I have a question though: is this something that the original people made, or is this like mods?
No, this is the original. These are like original, like whatever Paul Pals or whatever they're called inside Paul World.
Yeah,
like these are actual monsters in the games that you can like. Yep. Like this is the Pokemon one. This is from the newer Pokemons. Like this is the Sword and Shield one. I forgot his name, the bunny one. And this is the one from Power World. The
is
green
it Score
one right
Bunny?
Yeah, whatever his name is. It's like one of the default Pokemons you get in Sword and Shield. You get me?
How would you for example? How would you
like,
feel?
bro, look at this. Look at
someone,
this. Like, you get me? Like
someone took Catalyst and took our branding, took very heavy inspiration in our branding, called it Catalyst, and made it an OnlyFans company. Like,
look at this.
Like,
well,
it's just not with your ethos.
It may not be with your ethos, but what if you just secretly invest in that and make money off of what they're already doing?
That's like it's going to cause long-term damage to your brand. You know, like that's how companies like this view it. You know.
Jackie said,
like the companies view it almost as like a mockery of what they've built, especially in Japanese culture. You know.
Yeah, bro, this is like way too close.
It's what I don't know how to feel about it. I think Power World was innovative. I think it was short-lived. I don't blame Nintendo.
Okay, that doesn't look like Mewtwo. That does
that was a little far.
I don't think Nintendo was wrong with what they did. But what I personally love to point out is everyone in Web3, all their fucking pitch decks after Power World came out is we're creating the Power World for Web3. Like Illuvium even changed their language to that. And we were like, guys, this is not a good plan. They're copyright. The only reason that worked was because it was inspired by Pokemon. It wasn't like the game loop was so incredible. People just wanted to see things that looked like Pokemon with fucking guns in their hand. The game loop wasn't incredible because it fell the fuck off after a while. And now Nintendo has decided to be a savage and close the casket, right? All the Web3 games that were like, we're Power World now, like, just shut up. Just stop. Let it go. It had its moment. It's already gone. People are not going to be nostalgic for Power World and be upset about how Nintendo closed it. I already know where the conversation is going to go. Oh, well, now we have our bullish case because Power World got shut down, but Nintendo can't shut us down. the player base was dead anyways, guys. Like, just let it rest. Let Power World go where it belongs. And, you know, the Pokemon MMO graveyard of things that were shut down by Nintendo. You don't need to create another Power World. I can finally stop hearing about this shit. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Nintendo. I now have an argumentative case when people come to me telling me, oh, the Power World, the blah, blah, blah. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Thank
Let
you,
it go.
Nintendo, for shutting down yet another game. You're amazing. All right, man. Well, I don't think we have anything else to talk about in this episode, dude. I think we pretty much hit everything that's happening around this week or this month. But nonetheless, a lot of cool shit happening in the space in the gaming world. We have a lot of things that are upcoming. So, guys, I'm telling you, we're cooking. So if you don't want to miss anything that we're cooking on, make sure you guys are giving us a follow in all social medias because it's about to be a hot end of the year, man, for Catalyst and for the gaming space. So I'm super hyped for it. I'm here for it. You know, I'm looking forward to I'm probably gonna hop on back into Xifying right after this. Actually, I need to get some more clips for this montage that I'm working on. But nonetheless, man, it was a great episode of the podcast. It was a lot of fun catching up with you boys and talking about what's been happening throughout this last couple of weeks in the gaming world and in the entertainment world. And to everyone that came on the show, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week around the same damn time across all social medias. Make sure you guys give us a follow on YouTube, Twitch, and here on X. And we'll see you all next week. Peace.
Peace.